Greetings, thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate your time. Nigel Farage, he's popular, popular in the media, and he's been experiencing some problems with his bank lately. Apparently it's been going on for some months if you look at his videos, and I'm not going to post a link to them. I don't want to publicise that guy, but he's out there and he's been experiencing problems. And a couple of months ago, they turned around his bank, who he's been with for years, and says that we no longer want you as a customer and to take your funds and go elsewhere. Within banking industry, it's called rebanking, as I understand, and it's a feature of the banking industry that can be applied to anybody. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you are or how much money you've got, the bank can turn around and decide at some point that they no longer want to trade with you because of who you are, what you do, all the people you associate with. And it's just something we have to accept. Businesses can choose who they trade with, and it applies to the banks just as much as anyone else. Now, you'll hear people go, well, surely there's a right to banking. Well, sorry, there isn't. There isn't actually a right to banking at all. There is, within the UK, the facility for everyone to have at least a basic bank account, but not every bank has to deal with you. Now, there are basic bank accounts for people who find themselves in financial problems, who've gone bankrupt, for example, to allow them to have an income, pay the bills, and to manage the money that floods out of their account towards the debts that they owe. They're a financial tool as much as anything else, and they are there to help the good people get back on track, and the people with the past to get back on track as well. However, every bank may still decide who they trade with. So they are within their rights to turn around and tell somebody to go and find somewhere else to bank if they believe there's good grounds for it. Now, in the case of Nigel Farage, he's regarded as being a key player in making Brexit happen. And good or bad thing, well, we all have our opinions, but certainly it makes him a politically exposed person. Now, if you look up the definition of politically exposed person on Google, then it goes something like this. A politically exposed person is an individual who is or has been entrusted with a prominent function. Many politically exposed persons hold positions that can be abused for the purpose of laundering illicit funds or other offences such as corruption or bribery. Now, it's commonly accepted a lot of politicians are corrupt, and a lot of politicians are suspected of corruption on some level. And you look at the States, a lot of politicians are clearly in the pay of the big business. And that dictates what they do. Rather than serving the people they're supposed to represent, they do things for the businesses that help their funds. So a lot of people believe that, right or wrong, that Nigel Farage is a politically exposed person who may have been paid to do what he did. Don't know. But it's a position, being a politically exposed person, it's a position that can lose you your banking facilities. Not every bank will have the same problem with you. And I'm sure in the fullness of time he'll find somewhere to go bank where he'll be happily accepted. And he's been saying apparently that he's considering leaving the country because, you do need banking facilities to really get by and be comfortable. There are ways around it, of course. You could have a relative manage your funds for you, not a comfortable position to be in. No one ever wants to be like that. Or you can manage your funds in offshore accounts, send your funds to another country. And that is probably the way it'll end up going, I'm sure, if you can't get banking within the UK. But every bank may consider you a problem to bank with. So, it's something they can do. Now, the facility to rebank customers, it's used to deal with matters of corruption, and they don't have to tell you why. They just have to tell you to go. That's the best way it can be run. Now, you might think, it's a witch hunt. It is the bank turning around and saying, we don't want to associate with this individual. We believe they're bad for business. Now, personally, I think a lot of what he's done has caused problems for other customers. So if you look at any bank, and you look at what happened with Brexit, as I say, people have arguments for and against Brexit, but because it happened, because it allowed people to voice their opinions, it damaged business. It damaged business for a lot of banks' customers, and in so doing, it damaged business for the banks. A lot of businesses decided to take their trade elsewhere and literally left the UK. Took a lot of all that experience, all that warmth, all that colour that they brought to UK society, and they took it right back to their home countries or wherever they felt they were welcome. In so doing, they exposed other businesses to problems. In so doing, they exposed the banks to toxic debt. And for that reason alone, you might argue that a politically exposed person that triggers that sort of event might well get rebanked. It's not about you necessarily doing something corrupt. It's not about you taking necessarily a bribe for doing a certain thing. It's just a case of you do enough bad things, you'll cause problems for all the other customers. And when you cause all problems for the other customers, much like a pub with a belligerent drunk in the corner, they're going to take action to get rid of that one customer that's causing the problem. If you kick up a problem in a pub, the bouncers will eject you. That's their right. If you kick up and cause problems within a bank, the virtual institution that is a bank, then they're going to turn around and go, you know what, maybe it's time you banked elsewhere. And I think it's only right and proper that a bank should be able to do that. They should not be forced to take you on as a customer. If they don't agree with what you've done, what you do, they shouldn't have to deal with you. You may agree, you may disagree. But if you've taken the time to be with me this far, I do thank you for your time once again. And I hope to see you soon on the very next video. Bye for now.